Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jay Hollingshed, your personal high-performance mindset coach and public speaker. Thanking you so much for tuning in. This is episode 238 of 365, and this is my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Right off the bat, I need to start acknowledging people, those that are tuning in right at 9 o'clock. My wife, Lisa Hollingshed, my daughter, Jaleesa Hollingshed, my brother, AJ Arthur Hollingshed. We got Ernest McNeil, Lenoris Alexander. What's up, Fred? My aunt, Gina Cecily. Thank you so much. Everybody's tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, now, to watch this episode, who else we got slipping in? We got Jason Miller sliding in. Thank you, Jason Miller. Thank you so much. You are appreciated as well. To watch this on repeat, if you are watching this on repeat, thank you. You are appreciated. I love you for that. You can catch this also on YouTube. My YouTube channel is available. And Shirley Moore Boylan, thank you for tuning in. Frank Urankar, thank you for tuning in. Oh my gosh, I'm going to spend all my 10 minutes thanking everybody. But thank you so much. You all are appreciated. Tag a coach, tag an athlete, tag someone, an entrepreneur that you know in these videos. Be a blessing to someone with it. Put their name in the chat, in the comments. I greatly appreciate that as well. Today is Sunday, day 1 of the week, and we are talking about awareness and mindfulness. Awareness and mindfulness, okay? Now, this information I have for you today, I didn't do a whole lot of research on it because I pulled this directly from the workshops that I give when I do my awareness and mindfulness workshop. Now, I kind of condensed it for my 10 minutes. So this is called the art of mentally being in society, but not of society. How to mentally be in society and not be a part of society. Okay, now this would be a great benefit to you when you start to especially when you're stressed, or if conflict comes in your way and you're thinking that you have to deal with some type of conflict resolution. And even when you have a conflict with stress is a conflict. Okay, here we go. Now, in many of my past videos, I've suggested the method of mentally pressing the pause button when you're dealing with unwanted stressors, okay? Pressing that pause button is very important. So, here's what happens when you press the pause button on your situations. You press the pause button on your circumstances. This is what happens. When you do that, pressing the pause button pauses society and allows you time to mentally step outside of society into a state of awareness and mindfulness. It's kind of like stepping outside of yourself, okay? You're stepping into a state of awareness and mindfulness where you can analyze the society that you are in. I repeat that. Mentally pressing the pause button is actually stepping outside of where you are, stepping outside of your situation, and you're stepping into a state of awareness and mindfulness, allowing you to analyze the situation that you are in. It's kind of like if someone asks, "Where are you?" or where did he go? Where he's supposed to be here, and you went to the parade. Okay, you went to the parade. You are at the parade. You are in the environment of the parade, but you are not part of the parade. What you are doing is observing the parade and all the surroundings of the parade, but you are not part of the parade. It's like being there, but you're not actively involved in what's happening there. Same thing happens when you press the pause button. Now, there's a barber that used to work in my barbershop back home. His name is Curtis Brittman. And he would always say, we live in a microwave society and no one practices patience anymore. And that's true because society competes with itself, pushing to be the fastest, the strongest, the biggest, and the smartest. Everything is instant. Think about it. We went from 2G to 3G to 4G to this brain damaging 5G that's taking place. So society is at a microwave pace, and society wants us to keep up. Now, there's nothing wrong with friendly competition. It's like society competing with itself. There's nothing wrong with that as long as your view is kept in perspective according to who you are. So there's nothing wrong with you competing in a friendly competition as long as you remember who you are and keep sight of who you are. However, there is something wrong when you concentrate on society's lifestyle so much to where your view is no longer in a perspective of who you are. You lose sight of who you are and you mentally become sucked into society. So that's what happens when it's an unsafe environment. It's unsafe for you as a person because you no longer recognize who you are. When this happens, you are no longer in control of you. You no longer focus or concentrate on you. You are no longer you're still caught up. It's like being caught up in the Matrix, as they say in the movie The Matrix. So you no longer have the ability to press the pause button because society has sucked you up. You don't even think about pressing the pause button. You've been hypnotized by society. Your ability to press the pause button and mentally gain clarity is no longer an option. As I stated earlier, mentally pressing the pause button pauses society and allows you to remain in control of you. So to gain that high performance mindset, you must master the art of living in society and not being of society. This is living a life of awareness. So how do you do that? I got some practice exercises for you. I'm going to run down real quick. Practice exercises to gain awareness. Now you practice mindfulness to gain awareness. So here are some mindful practices. Number 1, mindful eating. These are things you do every day. Mindful eating. And mindful eating is like taking, you take a piece of candy, take a peppermint, and you take something that's the old school lemon head candy, okay? You're comparing hard and soft. So when you eat the peppermint, what's happening? What is happening as you eat the peppermint? Think about it. Feel it. Close your eyes and absorb what is happening. And when you do that, the peppermint is what? It's opening your nose. It's strong, okay? It has what kind of distinct flavor? Is it allowing your mouth to water? What is it doing to your taste buds? How is the peppermint dissolving on your tongue? Is it making your breath cool? So analyze what's happening with that. Then you take the lemon head. Do the same thing. The sweetness and the sour. You start off with the sour part. What does that do to your mouth? How is it affecting you? What is it doing? What kind of feeling is it giving you physically? What feeling is it giving you emotionally? You have to analyze that. Do a comparison with any foods that you are eating. Compare the hard and the soft foods, okay? Compare the juicy foods and the dry foods, the sour and the sweet, okay? You want to compare those when you're doing mindful eating. Number 2, mindful listening. Funneling music is one thing I like to use. When you funnel music, you listen to a lot of music, okay? Well, not a lot of music, but a lot of things that are going on in music, especially music that has a lot of instruments. Funneling the music is funneling and narrowing down to, you are mentally, as you listen, you separate all the instruments and you want to focus on one instrument. Say it's an orchestra or music with a lot of instruments, you want to narrow down on one thing, like the violin. You listen and key in only on the violin and separate everything else. That's the funneling music part. Or mindful listening when you're in a crowd. Say you're at a parade like I described earlier. Listen to what's going on. The sounds of the atmosphere are creating one distinct sound of the crowd. The many sounds you hear create the one sound, which is called the sound of the crowd. Okay? Analyze all the different sounds and how they make up the sounds of the crowd. And compare that to listening to one person. And when you listen to one person, what do you hear? Objectively, listen to their voice inflection and how they are saying what they are saying. That's mindful listening. Mindful feeling. The textures. You can feel some cloths. The textures of silk versus the texture of cotton versus the texture of sandpaper versus the texture of ice and water. Everything has a different feeling. But as you feel these different textures, think about what they are doing. What are you feeling? Is it cold? Is it hot? What is that doing to you? Is it making your skin feel different? The coolness of the ice, is it making your skin contract? The hotness of something else, you put your hands towards a warm oven. Is it making your skin contract and expand? You got to think about those things, and that's called mindful feeling. The same thing with mindful smelling. You smell foods, flowers, the outdoors. You can do that with the smell of your clean clothes and your dirty clothes. Everybody washes clothes. So get a whiff. Yes, I'm saying get a whiff of your dirty laundry. Smell it. See what it is, okay? Smell your dirty laundry, and then as you take it out the dryer, smell it again. Compare the two and analyze what you are feeling as you smell the two. Mindful seeing with your vision, okay? You can compare this if you have a magnifying glass or regular vision. If you compare your regular vision to looking through a microscope or a magnifying glass, or if you wear glasses, take off your glasses and analyze what you see without your glasses, how you see without your glasses. Then put them back on and analyze what you see with. Analyze the clarity. So these examples I just gave you involve the 5 gateways of the mind, which are the 5 senses. Now, you may not know it, but when you are doing these mindful exercises, you have the pause button pressed. You're not working on society. You're not thinking about society. You are strengthening your ability to focus on you and to pull yourself away from society. That is what you are doing. And when you do that with regular practice, you won't even have to press the pause button. You will continually be able to observe yourself and you will be able to observe yourself in society while not being a part of society. You will continually be able to observe yourself and society simultaneously. So practicing those exercises will help you develop the art of mentally being in society, but not being of society. Mentally being in a stressful situation, but not of the stressful situation. You're taking yourself out of it to analyze it and see how you can deal with it, okay? Give yourself the advantage. That's all that I have for today. And I'd like for you to take the time to be mindful. Make the effort to be mindful and not the excuse of why you cannot be mindful. I'm Jay Hollingshed. This is episode 238 of 365. Thank you so much for listening in this Awareness and Mindfulness Day. Be well, stay blessed, and as always, through love, be a blessing. God bless.